This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning everybody. Welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve. Here we got such a beautiful antelope grazing about. Again, we didn't actually have to go far. We just bump on them on the very top of quarantine, and this is probably where they spend the most of the night grazing. They all still look fluffy, and we're just gonna see what else we're gonna show everybody. And so welcome aboard to your very own live safari through the African bush. Good morning again everybody. Welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve. So we are still sitting here to the very much top of quarantine, since we just bumped on this beautiful Impala, but just to begin off, it's always so nice to see how they react in case there is something behind them, because they're always followed by cats. We to scan around. It's gonna be so sorry about all of the technical issues, everybody. So temperature of today is sitting on the 14 degrees Celsius, 58 Fahrenheit. And then of course, we're happy to take your questions if you send them through hashtag Wild Earth on Twitter, as well as at FC on YouTube. And if you are under the age of 18 years old, you still pop us an email on kidsquestions@wildearth.tv as well. Or the simple thing where it's actually go to the Wild Earth website and head over to the live safari page, and you can submit your question there. It's pretty a little windy as well, and then and that's why this antelope came to the very open area. But once it's a properly light, they would probably see if they're gonna go into the brush and they can browse in there. But at the moment it's all grazing, because they are a grazer and they're browser at the same time. So this morning will be myself and Trishal to look for the animal, to show everybody, and I'm going to continue checking around here if we can find any cat tracks that we can able to follow about. Everybody, let's take a look at the weather on all our various different locations.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard. Oh, let me put my game drive radio lower there. It's me, Shell. I've got Theo on camera, and we are cruising in the south this morning, or at least for now. We've just come past Treehouse Dam. We're looking for tracks, all of the usual, and hoping to find some spots this morning. It's a really nice morning. It almost feels like a spring morning. And it's quite warm, and there's a slight breeze. Very nice. It's got a nice smell too. So I just want to do the southern boundary from here, Shabamu, to Twin Dams. Check for tracks if anyone's coming in. And then use that as my point of focus as we go moving into Djuma. I like methodical searching, from one end to the other. It just helps me. So far, no tracks. So this morning, I'm going home tomorrow, so this morning I'd like to see, or today, some elephants and some spots, and all the little things in between. Especially some elephants. I think I miss elephants the most when I'm away from the bush. I didn't hear any updates about any of our leopards last night. The south, but we're going to give it a go. I don't think we found any leopards yesterday or yesterday evening. Perhaps a few of them stayed in the morning.
Everybody, again on the move, but first I just want to apologize for all the technical happening again this morning. So we're now trying to look around for the animal, see what are we going to find. I'm planning actually to go to the east, jump to the east, see what they got. To the east, jump to the east, see up there. And then I haven't yet switched to the channel. I only do that when I already cross the border. But that's a cheat joy. Proper work. But all I'm hoping this morning is to maybe find a leopard and or lions, cats really. That's what I'm hoping to find. I know the other guys are trekking on the Hyenas tracks. I think who is spotted somewhere the guys on top of it and they're following it up. And they'll probably get an update from them. Always been elephants tracks, but they're probably so. You're asking, would Impala give birth to twins? They can do, but that's rare. But yeah, they can give birth to twins. It's so that it's actually rare to see it. So in antelopes, we're more baby at a time. But it would happen that they do give birth to twin if it happened. So I'm going to carry on, check. I'm going to be sending you across.
We're here at Twin Dams, where at least there's slightly more action going on than there was at Treehouse. We have a pair of Egyptian geese. Going about their morning, a nice drink of water, cleaning themselves, good scratches. And then soon they'll go off and enjoy their day. Can you hear them? Even a bit of a morning stretch there. Now as they go forth into their day, they're going to start feeding. Mostly hang around the dam. And definitely get noisier than this. That kind of raspy call that you heard just now, that's the male's call. The female calls a lot more noisily. I've seen a number of territorial fights here between different Egyptian geese couples that make their way here. One was actually quite violent, at least quite violent looking. Didn't see any feathers being pulled, anything like that, but it looked quite intense. There was lots of splashing and flying and pushing the others under the water, stuff like that. But for now, it seems that these two have the dam to themselves. Sure, quite thankfully. I'm also taking a moment here to just kind of listen out for the sounds of those breaking branches to indicate some elephants around. But nothing so far. We're actually going to take a drive along, or rather kind of on Twin Dams Road, where we can see into the drainage to see if there's elephants around. They like to, that specific part in the bend in the Milwaukee, they like to dig there and then they come out into the road. So if we're lucky, that might happen this morning. Hi Nancy, you'd like to know how Egyptian geese got their names? The Egyptian part, obviously, firstly they're endemic to Africa and they would have been seen in Egypt and here in sub-Saharan Africa. But mostly their name comes from the markings on their face. So you see the thick eyeliner around their eyes? Apparently that looked quite Egyptian to the people who named and classified the species. So yes, Egyptian geese, for the markings on their faces. That male is doing quite a display there. It's kind of, it seems like a half-hearted display. Half picking his leg up and half lurching forward and half calling. Yes, this is your dam. Yes. Looks like he was just going, and you, and you, and you. Do you see this? This is my dam. And you, and you, yes. Hi Vivian, Naidu, you'd like to know if they're aggressive, like normal geese. So the geese that we see on like farms and things like that, they're quite domesticated in the sense that we can handle them quite easily. These guys too, we can get them to some extent in our gardens and stuff like that, but they don't get to because they're not domesticated as much, they don't get so comfortable with humans that they become terribly aggressive towards us. They can become aggressive towards each other, definitely. And if you go to parks and gardens where lots of people feed them and that kind of thing, then you will find that they can become aggressive. But out in the bush here, if I'm walking around and Egyptian geese are around, they're not aggressive. At least not towards me or other guides walking around. On that note, fun fact from Marcel, everybody. Geese are great watching animals. I was going to say watchdogs, but then they watch geese. Apparently they're very good at alerting you to the presence of any intruders in your yard. I hear my special kingfisher. He's right here. The Pied Kingfisher. He's just on the top of that little leadwood on the other side of Toon Dams. There we go. Bottom of your screen, Theo. There we go. It's the Pied Kingfisher, everyone. Oh no, oh no. Another Egyptian geese couple's coming in. They're so funny to watch. But I hope you saw the couple that flew in, dive bombed the ones that were around here. So I wonder who will end up coming to the dam and claiming it as its own, especially since the couple that was here, the male, was busy, you know, telling everybody. Now you hear this call here? No, of course it stopped. So this raspy ho, 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 that's the male. And that more nasal, this one, that's the female. And you could hear that she was doing the majority of the shouting when the couple came in. Meanwhile, on the other side of the dam, where the Pied Kingfisher is hanging out, things are a little bit calmer. Hi Rowan, you'd like to know how does it stand on such a prickly branch? So it's standing on a little leadwood, and little leadwoods, when they're older, they don't have these spines, so they're not actually thorns, they're just spines. They don't have them, so, and they grow out of it. But obviously this is a young leadwood, it has these spines. They're not as sharp as a thorn, and they're quite evenly spaced. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. So it'll find that area between the spines to perch.
Fun.
It's sitting on another leadwood now, this one a lot older, so definitely not as many spines. Perhaps it's a little bit more comfortable than that small one. All right, let's move on Twin Dams Road and see if we can find any elephants mooching around.
Hello everyone, my name is Elmarie and I'm very excited about this drive. My husband Kleinhan bought me this Ticket to Dream for my birthday as a present because he knows I watch Wild Earth all the time. I couldn't be more happy. I've never had such a great present in my life before.
If you want to go on safari with a Wild Earth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
Okay, my favorite part about Wild Earth is the characters, and then of course I love the bush and I love Africa, and just the fact that I can follow every day, that's one of my favorite things.
Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
Being on a live drive on Wild Earth is really great because you can actually now smell the bush, see the animals in real life. You have to really make a plan and just do it.
As one of the industry's best and Fagasa endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a Fagasa accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
My name is Ross and I'm a field guide at and beyond Pinder Private Game Reserve. I love getting questions from guests on Wild Earth because I love sharing and learning information about nature with new people, and it also makes me feel like you're all joining me in real life. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, go to our live safari page and submit your question below our live feed.
It's a little bit nippy in the it has to come out on top. Warmer. Yeah, as it is. So this area off to my east now, we're going to have a look at, is where the elephants like to pop out. Right about here. Let's see if we can have a look down here. We can have a look into that drainage there. Sometimes I see them here and they pop out onto the road. Hi Chad, you'd like to know how many babies does an elephant give birth to at once? It is usually, in fact, most of the time, 1 and exceptionally 2. It has happened, it can happen, but it is not usual. It is the exception. There's a black-headed oriole just on the top of this tree. Oh, look, it flew away. That, Chad, is quite usual. For birds to fly away as soon as we want to show them to you. I don't see any tracks of elephants coming out here. They literally come out at this termite round and around here. Not so lucky today. I'm still determined to find them though. Hi Demi, you'd like to know if certain animals only live in certain areas of Djuma? A lot of the animals, as you would know, Demi, don't... See, Djuma's a small property, so they don't live... We can't say they live on Djuma, because they could be just passing through Djuma, and apart from our lions and our leopards, we don't really, and some of our elephants, we don't really keep tabs on individuals and know whether those individuals are living, as in exclusively in that specific area. Because this is, it just for us, it's boundaries, not for all the animals. Yeah, so it's difficult to say. I'm going to say no, because even if they are animals that are specific to, say, the Mowati, they'll happily be in the drainage, any other drainage line too. Like fireflies, you're more likely to see them in a drainage line than just out and about like this. But they could be in any drainage line. They're animals that we're more likely to see in those areas, but I can't say that they live there. For example, bushbuck. Bushbuck you're going to find again in drainages. The only one I could say that for, that they live in a specific area of Djuma, would be the hyenas when they did. But again, that's random to choose which area in Djuma. It just so happens that they chose a specific spot and we went to visit them frequently. And it was a termite mound, so, but again, it's random. There's nothing holding them to that area, which is, I think, what you need. Something that has just the right variables for one specific species. Let's check out Terrapin. I don't see anything. I also don't hear anything. Except some blue wax balls going overhead. Okay. There's some canaries too. Alright, off we go. And I'm going to send you over to Andrew. He's also in the move.
So, we now we're just and see if there's there. They were actually talking about also update about the wild dogs, but they're still out of reach for us. And then leopard is also out of reach in this area for now. But then we're gonna see if we got to the pride, because there was a pride of lions seen yesterday, and this is a search, or hopefully they're still around. It's been a while since I've seen the wild dogs, but if it happens, we had got lucky, bump on these packs. I'm not sure which packs is this, but probably found out also. So I wasn't gonna go to the dam now. Sorry, I just missed that. I think I should be starting here, so that I probably had my communication cut off, so I couldn't even pick up that question from white men so well. It seems so quiet out here. I if it's possible, I would like to have that question from White Man again. Oh, alright, so I got it. So White Man, you would like to know that would the predators still be active in this time of a day like this? Definitely yes. It's still actually a very cool morning, and it's not actually there yet hot. Those in the kill, they'll remain sitting on their kill, but those that has to hunt still, and then there's a chance to actually still get mobile hunt around. So I got the question. We're gonna move on. So I'm gonna try get to the lines before everybody there.
That is a great plan, because yesterday, that's exactly what we tried to do. Get there before everybody else comes out and rushes to the sighting, because it's such a busy one. Hopefully, because it's the morning, maybe the little cubs will be out. The Nkuhumas have 7 new cubs. Tiny little lion goofballs. It's been a bit of a cub explosion. Sapui's got a cub, Chava's got cubs. Shudulu's probably got cubs. Tiani's got cubs. Unfortunately, leopards we don't get to see very often, but still, lots and lots of cubs. And of course, the Nkahuma 7 cubs. So many little baby animals all needing to find their space. Where they'll go in a couple years' time, how it'll all change. I expected, when I think about it now, and I think, oh, where could Maurice be in 2 years, something like that. But when I think about it, I've been here for almost 3 years, and it's just Hosanna that's really moved away. And it didn't change as much as I think, although we did, actually, maybe it did. Tabungumi came in, Mowati, Tingana's, nomadic, so I guess lots of changes have happened, just because Palamba and Tandi are still in their spaces. It makes me feel like not too much has happened. But that is the way it will be, because females don't migrate the way that males do. It is interesting to think, though, what would happen in a few years. So, I have no clues, no elephant tracks, no leopard tracks. I do have a good mood, though. That's something. So that means that whatever we'll find, we'll have a good time. But I've done most of the south, apart from the southeast, and that's just because usually when Andrew comes off Chitwa, he'll come into the southeastern corner there by Chitwa line, so I'm leaving it to him. Now I'm going to go a little bit further north, so I've come from the south, going back to the central portion of Djuma, which is basically quarantine, and then let's go Aubrey's. Yeah, let's go Aubrey's and see what we find there, Buffles at Boundary, and then wind our way through the north. This is always a great spot for tracks. It's such a big junction. And the sun is just perfect for tracks at the moment. It's angled, it's not high up in the sky, so it casts a nice shadow in the tracks. Makes them much easier to see. Hi, Michelle. That was such a sincere plea. Michelle really wants me to find us a leopard, well, all of us, a leopard. I'm gonna do it, Michelle. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see a leopard before I go. I know who I want to see, and I'm gonna spend time looking for this evening or this afternoon's drive. It's Tandy. Okay, Michelle. I'm thinking, it's not as if I wasn't looking for a leopard before you asked, but now I'm thinking strategically. Hi, Amanda. You'd like to know if I think they're leopards that get along with each other. That's a very human concept, you know, getting along with each other, because animals out here, they have great relationships. I'll just pull out my binoculars for a moment. They have great relationships. Or they can have good relationships. Yeah, little bee eaters. Just on that. There we go. They can have good relationships, and for us it may be, oh, they get along with each other, but in fact they just don't fight with each other. Just on the stick in the ground. There we go. So I think that leopards have some sort of relationship with their kin and can recognize their kin to some extent, but I don't know if that means they get along. You understand what I mean? I think it just means that somehow they can recognize that those are their own genes, and the whole biological purpose is to push forward your genes. Then maybe you'll be less likely to kill your kin. Not always the case, but a thought, definitely. Our time spent with Tingana, Palamba, Hasana, Tandi has taught us that they can recognize each other. They allow them to be closer than they would another leopard. But I don't know if that means that they get along. Hi, Michael. You say it's your favorite bird? I'm so glad to show you your favorite bird. I also love them. Their colors are so vivid. I love the way they swing their tail like a little pendulum. Now, when you say they're little bee eaters, they really are little. They're only about 15 grams. Oh, hi, Louisa. You asked the question just as I was talking about it. She'd like to know, how tiny are they? They're called little bee eaters after all. 15 grams. Tiny. And about the same amount in centimeters. About 15, 16 centimeters. So very small. I have an interesting spidey here. Hopefully it'll stick around. Hello, spider. I don't know what you are. Shall we try it, Theo? I don't know what the spider is. It's a very cool looking spider. No. I want you to go back onto the dash so that you can use... You can... There we go. There you go. Hopefully it's going to pop its abdomen. Oh, that's right, yeah. There we go. Look at it gathering up its silk. Yeah, you don't want that to go to waste. Looks like it's about to fall over. Now, there it goes, popping its abdomen up in the air. Look how it's walking like that. It's going to try parachuting off the vehicle. Oh, that didn't work. Now what? You're going to try again. There we go. Abdomen in the air. And it'll push a little bit of silk out of there. And then the silk will act like a parachute and catch some air. Never mind. Oh, Spidey, you took the easy way out by dropping down there. Like I said, I don't know what spider this is, so I'm not going to play with it like I would if it were a green pea spider or a jumping spider. Hi Susan, you say what a heavy body for tiny legs. It does look like it's a heavy body. But I'm sure it's got it under control. Oh no, Spidey. You're having a tough time in the wind. It's got a black head and a black and white striped abdomen. I'm not sure what it is. Now it's going to go into my steering wheel. Oh, it's even caught some goodies along the way there. But it is struggling with the wind. I'm not sure how to help you, Spider. I think you should go back into the dash and try to parachute again. I love watching that. Someone just wait with it until that happens.
As the sun goes down in Africa, for many, the day has just begun. Wild Earth is ready for the next brand new concept, and this time, it's at night. A specialized thermal drone will take to the air under the cover of darkness. As it flies above the bush, it will be searching for hotspots on the ground.
We might have a leopard on the far right of this group of hyena.
The ground team will then be called to identify the animal.
It is a warthog. That's exactly what it is. So there we go. It was a warthog that was running away from... Sorry, Warty.
And of course, it is at this time when the big cats are on the hunt.
Yeah, James, just head a little bit more left.
Okay, copy. I'm going to go north around on Impala Road.
Okay, the lions are on the move, guys. Lions are chasing the wildebeest.
Wild Earth is looking for a sponsor who can help turn this show to a long-running series. If you are interested, then head over to our website to find out more. wildearth.tv/sponsors. Across southern and East Africa, the Endangered Wildlife Trust works tirelessly to save species, protect critical habitats, and benefit people. Join the EWT in returning wildlife to the wild. Go to ewt.org.za to find out more and follow our socials to see how you can get involved. Protecting forever, together.
I love being a camera for Wild Earth. The animals coming right up close to you, especially like lions. Sometimes you get nervous, but you have to go with the flow. My favorite animal to film is the elephant because of how big it is. But when it's really up close to you, it's one animal that you would say, I really respect you.
We've seen these ellies really chase wild dogs before. Let's get into spot. There we go, there it comes. Look at that, isn't that amazing?
Expect the unexpected here on Wild Earth, daily.
Everybody, you're back with me. Firstly, this is actually, we're coming into an area where, for the sake of the sensitive viewers, we've got a lions feeding at the moment, where if it ever happened, just for now avoid, not to look until we probably find something else. So there are Ngoma Pride, which they managed to bring this bull buffalo down, but it looks like it's actually looks big. Was a big bull there. And she's still busy feeding on that. A lot of meat has been taken already. I think they probably, since they killed it, and they probably went to the water where it's probably cheetah them there. But when that happened, they don't actually all of them go to drink, so they would take turns. Some will remain just to watch the kill, not to get stolen. So, Alison, you want to know how long they've been feeding on this kill? So, they actually killed it day before that night. So they probably spent their 2 nights in this kill already. Since, so yeah, this is pretty much, but you can see how bigger damage and feeding that animals have done. It's just because so many members here. I can only see 8. Actually, I'm lost count of the Ngoma pride. I can't tell last time how many of them were there. And she's the only one feeding right now. The rest have probably had enough. So whoever get hungry would go to feed in that kill. So we just actually get joined by other vehicle here, would be the third one. So it was actually very good for us to get into this spot. And it would have happened that we're probably going to have to make space if this sighting gets so much busy, and we can always book the lineup to return back here again. Leanne, 80 years old. You want to know why do the male lion had a man, not the female? So I think something to do with the represent their status also, that they are the male. So I think that's the only thing. Males grow mane because of, then they have to represent it amongst the members of this species. We have actually a good question there, because also I have a leopard in an area where male leopard doesn't really grow mane. They're cats, but yeah, they were looking at the Panthera leo, where leopard, Panthera parda. So it's actually not really, can't be all the same, but because they're also big cats, these one. But once I also did witness the male that was grown up without mane in the area, but it was actually back in the days, and I don't know what happened to them, probably just died or... But that also can happen as well. Male grow up less mane or hardly to see a mane in them. Something to do with their gene pool there. So, Simone, you're asking how many members of the pride that I've seen here. So 8, I actually count 8 of them. Unless if maybe there is some went to the water, but we'll probably find out. But so far, 8. And the other guys, they were actually mentioning that there were some cubs around here. But, they not been seen for a while. So maybe the mother had taken them away back to the hidden area. Which maybe there'll probably be 9 in this member. So, Dr. Tebo, so you're saying you're surprised that there's no hyena in this area, in this spot over here. So, we saw a lot of tracks of hyena coming down here as we come down, but then we didn't actually spot none of them. But there were also audio of them while we were here. But they won't show up here until these lines vanish. So they're probably around waiting for the line to move off, and they can return to clean off all the bones. Shante, so you're asking, would there any good nutritious on their eye when they eat the eye on? Probably, I think. I'm not kind of sure what kind, but they should be, because every time they feed, they're more likely to feed around their mouth, and they take their tongues away, and then only probably the bottom jaw that is pretty much going to be eaten. Probably some sort of a benefit in there. They're actually well equipped with such very sharpening corneal teeth. We're able to do this sort of the skin, probably work like scissors. So black widow spider, you're asking, do I know how many sub-adult are here? So I've seen 6 of them. So far. And there are here 2 adult females, and the rest of them are the sub-adult. But all different age. Looks like it. So, Thomas, you're asking what are the location of this kill at the moment. I know in my map here I only have a northern map. I would really like to show you exactly where we are. But yeah, it's not actually in Juma. It's happening in Chitwa, far end of a Chitwa property itself. And in the eastern end of that. And this Guma, they have been actually coming in, more likely. They were around last week, and they returned back. I think they say they return back to Londoloza, some of them, and they make their way back here again. So it's great to get to see them. Take time here, see what they are doing. So still 2 of them interested to feed. The one that is standing up, it's a young male. You can see the mane is about. They're well developed. And it's such an amazing how they work around. They're probably taking so much of bones on these ribs. believe they'll probably be here for another night.
I am on our western boundary, Triple M at the moment. That's because I found some male leopard tracks that headed south and west in Aubrey's and then got lost in the block. So the problem is it's a long section to have a look at. So what I'm doing is I've come out Galanites and I'm just checking out Triple M to see if there's any obvious tracks coming out. Although I think that this animal might have turned, so I'm seeing nothing around here. I have a feeling it might be for Tingana, just because it seemed like erratic movements, the tracks. Not erratic, but rather not any well-defined movements that I would imagine from an animal that's got territory around here. It went to one-eyed pan and then came out of one-eyed pan again. So we're gonna keep one eye out. Sorry guys, it's early in the morning and I only had like half a cup of coffee. Sorry, it's a super bumpy road. It's the camera killer road. It's just necessary for me to check it. It's been such a productive road, this one has. And I have a good feeling, so let's hope for the best. I'm going to send you over to Andrew, who actually has these cats.
So everybody, we're still sitting here, and this young one hasn't given up eating that carcass yet. But I'm sure once he's done, he will rejoin the rest on the ground there. Just take it easy, rest before. But they will do that repeatedly every now and then. Beverly, so you're asking whether the cubs have eaten already? I'm not sure. But I heard that they were seen in this area once, and then probably the mother has moved them somewhere. Probably for safety. Because if they were here, then they would be around, already running around, annoying all of these sub-adults, because then they have still a lot of energy. So I'm not sure if they probably ate that time they were here and then move off with their mother. And the reason many of them are taking it easy because when they first bring down these animals, they're all going to feed at the same time, eating it. Some they will take a rest, but majority they would feed there at the same time. Once all get full, and that's where they're going to settle down. And then from there, whoever feel hungry return to the kill, just like these young male doing here. So, Shante, you're asking, is it common for the female to do most hunting? Yes, if the males with the pride, all you see is this female leading on front, interested in a hunt, it would probably help once more, especially if the prey has been caught down and such a bull buffalo like this. It's actually a huge battle for the lions to bring it down. They'll probably need his hand, or their hand if they're in a pride. But if not, then they'll try to do themselves, just like they did it here, without the male. So male, they're more likely just to stay far end to watch the female do all hunting. Somebody's not behaving well there. It's getting a warning. Jingle. So you're asking how many lions are needed to hunt a buffalo, such a bull like this. If they're actually capable of hunting buffaloes, 4 they can do. If they're strong enough, 3 they can do, but so much work and the result in injury on the lions. So yeah, probably they're done well because all these sub-adults, they can be able to help in that situation. They can also get this young one playing with tip end of that female's tail. Yvette, so you're asking how long does it take for the lion to digest their kill? Depending on the the weather sometimes. When it's hot, it's quicker. And it doesn't really take long. And that's why they will return to feed quite often during the day or at night once they kill like this. So every time digesting takes place is probably half an hour or so, or an hour. They often return to feed, replace the element, and they would go defecate quite often as well. So half an hour, digest, and they will defecate and return back to eat, but repeatedly. So when they have full belly, and that's where they gotta digest. The digesting system takes place very quickly. But when the stomach started to slightly, and then the digesting is gonna be less. That's where the animals will go to starve in the next 2 days. So all we see, it's all the teeth of the buffaloes around that face.
The annual Safari Guide of the Year competition aims to create awareness for those men and women who dedicate their lives to tourism and wildlife. This year's event will be held at Marataba, a breathtaking privately managed section of the Marakele National Park in South Africa's Limpopo province. In celebration of this, Wild Earth and Marataba Luxury Lodges are offering all explorers a chance to win a 3-night stay at Marataba Safari Lodge for you and a friend. In addition to a spectacular land-based safari, Marataba Luxury Lodges offer an opportunity for guests to cruise peacefully along the Matlabas River, watching the animals as they drink and wallow. The lodge offers you a chance to lie by the pool or enjoy a spa treatment, and one night could be spent sleeping out under the stars in a luxurious treehouse. Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer before the 30th of June, and it could be you heading off on a long-awaited getaway. Wild Earth Explorers, it's in your nature. As one of the industry's best and Fagasa endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a Fagasa accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
My name is Lauren, and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me, and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
Well, my tracks that I was following, unfortunately, led close to Sydney's Dam, which is a particularly bad spot for signal. But there are two other vehicles that are also looking at those tracks, at least that obviously they'll need to broadcast. So if anything does come about, they'll let us know, and if it moves, if they find the animal and if it moves to an area where we can show you, that would be awesome. But so far, no one's found anything. It was nice to see some leopard tracks, though, male leopard tracks. Well, now I'm on Mvubu Road. And I'm searching for some elephants. They also really like the drainage between Gallagher Pan and Mvubu. Hello, guys. Some Impala to just say hello to. Hi, you lot. It's nice to see you. But do you have any information whatsoever about leopards in the area? I feel like that was a hard no. Don't talk to us about leopards. Starting to be a little less fluffed up. Their fur is starting to sit on their bodies a little bit more because it's starting to warm up nicely. But again, it's an individual thing. Like if you look at this one, he's not so puffed up, but if you look at the one next to him, a little further ahead, he's quite puffed up. Perhaps it's not actually as easy to see on camera as it is in real life. And then the youngsters that are further behind them, they're not puffed up at all. Hi, Lily Pan. You'd like to know if Impala is always a go-to when looking for a predator? I think any antelope is. Knowing where the antelope is a great system. Like it's a great alarm system. You know where they are, so you know what sound. If you hear a certain alarm call, you know roughly where to go to. The thing is that Impalas are most numerous from all the antelope, so you're more likely to find them around than you are going to find bushbuck or nyala or kudu. You're still going to see them, but you're still going to see herds and herds of them all around. But all their alarm calls are valuable. Kudus, for me, very reliable, and nyala. Impalas, great alarm call, but not as reliable as a kudu for me. But they're great because there's many little herds of them all over the place. So it's kind of, like having more eyes and ears out. Excuse me. Sorry, but I needed to sneeze. Hi, David. You'd like to know if the name Impala means anything? I don't know. I mean, I know there's Impala, the car, but I don't think the Impala, the animal, is named after the car. I don't think Impala means anything. Or at least I don't know what Impala means on its own. But rather Epicurus, which is their genus name, Epicurus melampus. Ah, thank you, FC. So FC tells me that it's Zulu for gazelle. Didn't know that. All I knew was the scientific name. The Epicurus meant like horned or high-horned or long-horned. And the melampus was the mila, black, and the milas. I don't remember, but melanin, imagine melanin, black, and then footed. So it was like long-horned, black-footed. But that's their scientific name. I didn't know that Impala, the actual name Impala meant gazelle in Zulu. On from these guys, they look very nice and relaxed, and we can keep on going towards the dam area. I actually want to go past the dam. I might not stop at the dam. We'll see how it goes, because I'm looking for elephants that could possibly be in Ngari cut line, as they tend to. I can see through a gap here. If there are elephants on the other side. Hi Frankie, you'd like to know how I know that the tracks are from this morning? Only because I know that those tracks weren't there last night. So it could actually be from late last night. It could be from early morning. But they looked pretty nice. Especially the ones that were on near One-Eyed Pan and near Sydney's Dam. The ones that were coming out of Aubrey's Road were nice, but they didn't look like they were just made. There's a subtle difference in the way it looks. It's like really crisp and sharp when it's brand new. And all the edges have not collapsed yet. Having a look over towards the open clearings near the dam. I don't see any elephants. So we're going to keep on moving and hopefully I'll find them at Ngari cut line. I'm kind of disappointed that I haven't seen tracks for them or anything like that. There's At least I know the usual places that they kind of like. So Gari Cutline, Central, Nyala Road Dip, and then Warripan Road in the northeast. So we're going to try all of those to try and find the elephants. And don't worry, even when I'm looking for elephants, it's not that I'm excluding any other animals. Hello, you guys. This is a young one. A young Impala scratching his head. Small little horns, looked like he was running with pencils in his hand and then fell. And they got into his head. Very, very sweet. This is a young male that would have been born. Oh, this is a young male that would have been born after, last year's, right? So about a year old, almost. Now, I don't hear any elephant movement, but I'm going to keep on going on to Gari Cutline, which is this turn right here where these Impala are. See if I can look into the drainage and see any elephants.
So everybody, there's still 2 of them feeding at the moment. There is no change, so the young female is still eating, and then the young female that came joined, so there are 2 of them eating at the moment. In the end, it's going to be nothing left by probably tomorrow. Probably they're going to have started to make their way out of this area. Switching position. So if you look at these ribs, how most of them have been eaten. Jerome, so you're asking would be any other animal that would feed on this bone after the lions are gone? Yes, these are the hyenas. definitely hyena that will return here immediately. They're probably around here watching the lions. And once the lions move, hyena will come in, and then they would probably feed as much as they can on his ribs and some bone that lions couldn't actually able to crunch, hyena would. If it's also skin that is going to be left in here, the hyena that will deal with the skin until the end of it. Donnie, so you're asking if I ever seen a leopard scavenge from the lions. I've been told, but yeah, I'm not. I didn't actually come across that, but I've been told that it happened by one of my friends, who was as a guide as well. He witnessed that. But only that happened when there's no lion in that area, and of course, it's easy for that leopard to run in and get as much as they can, but immediately get out of the area. So leopard, it's a less chance they can do that because they're scared of lions as well. So all the elephants in the way distance, all the growling taking place on the far side. So it's always important for them when they kill a bigger prey like these bull buffalo here, and then it will limit their movement. So they will probably, since they've been staying in this area, since the night before, and it's probably happened at night, and they're still around. But if we look at the damage that they have done in these buffaloes, I would only assume only 9 of them, because the cubs not here probably had a mother with them, and we have 8 total that is in this kill. for such a pride. They deserve such a kill like this because they were able to feed all of them and they have enough. So there is pretty much more of them still here. And then I'll just take it easy. It's gotta be getting much warmer during the day. I think it's an open sky today as well, but the winter, their kill, it's always refrigerated. It's not much of the humidity that's taking place during the day. And that's why we see less a fly in that kill. So, comment from Michelle. So, you're saying it's always good to see the gohuma and they're still in good healthy condition. And they are actually in good condition. And all of these sub-adults growing healthy as well. But they spend a lot of time up in the forest southwest. But it's good to have them back in this forest east. So a week ago they were also seen feeding on the buffaloes in one of the property. So it looked like they do deal with the buffalo. They know how to deal with them. Because it's got to be a huge fight. Buffalo, they defend themselves very well. A lot of these are lying down here. They've been lying down here since we got here. But it's got in a time where there were probably some of them interested on go feed again. It's been a while since we got here, and they haven't actually started to move around or sign of going to eat at all. Craig, you're asking for how long would they continue to eat until the carcass is bad. So they are carrion animal. They would eat a very rotten meat, the lions. You can see actually lions, still feeding on the meat that's, some meat got maggots very bad. A week older carcass, lion can still feed them. The buffalo weigh nearly a ton, and they're way too big. So it's always better when in a pride like this, and all work together, cooperate to hunt buffaloes. Many of lions that get injured, some died trying to kill buffalo. So we're just gonna see what they're gonna do here.
Another wonderful guest with us, Sergio Real. Sergio is a holder of the Ticket to Dream.
I bought a Ticket to Dream because I love Wild Earth. All of the guides have been awesome. We've been watching for years, and it's a favorite part of my day to get to watch the drives. I look forward to seeing lots of leopards.
If you want to go on safari with a Wild Earth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
My favorite part of the drive today was definitely an elephant that paid us a visit and came right to our car.
Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
It's amazing being on a live drive in Juma. It's just fantastic. The scenery is beautiful and the animals are even better.
The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, encourages people to care for the earth. Through innovative projects, they aim to reverse the serious issues that we face in the world today. One of these projects is Green Coast, a proudly South African award for sensitive and well-managed coastal sites. This sustainability project protects our national coastlines while providing unemployed youth with a love for their environment and a hope for the future. WESA is a membership and volunteer-supported organization. Every supporter is helping to change the only earth we have. Visit our website to see how you can help care for our earth.
It's a huge privilege to be in these incredible places with these amazing animals. I love filming lions. When they do get up and do something, it's always spectacular. When they are playing, are incredibly fun to watch, especially sub-adults and cubs. I love being in the bush and working in these incredible places with these amazing animals. We want to bring it to you so that you can almost feel like you're right there and be able to experience it and enjoy it the way we are.
We have a nice little selection of antelope here, of different kinds, or rather, actually, bovids and antelope. Here we have our on-toed antelope, the zebra, and we have some a really huge herd of buffalo behind them emerging from Torchwood. Can you see them kind of there in the distance, leaking out? There we go, they're streaming out to that section from behind all these zebra. It's nice to see both these herbivores together. Both bulk grazers. And you can see that the zebra don't mind eating on the firebreak at all, and this is not a particular part of the firebreak where it's very green. They don't mind the occasional scorched vegetation. Their color's beautiful. The contrast is just stunning against the firebreak. I love how the zebra are not paying attention to me at all, but there's one buffalo in the herd far ahead of me that's just staring at me. Yes, hello. Look how they lift up their heads and their noses. They have such a great sense of smell. They really use that to figure out what it is in front of them. I find that the attention that I get when I move into the sighting is comparable between buffalo sightings and dwarf mongoose sightings. I just get stared at in this exact same manner. And it's relentless. They don't stop. They just carry on. If one stops staring at you, the other one's going to start staring at you. I'm going to be quiet, and I hope that you'll be able to hear them streaming through, because they're quite noisy as they move. Sounds like a whole lot of dry leaves moving through. That's okay. Kevin, you'd like to know if a buffalo would attack a zebra? I mean, it's unlikely unless the zebra is particularly annoying to a buffalo. But they're not a threat to each other at all. So there's no need for a buffalo to go and lift the zebra and toss it. Although I must say, Kevin, that when I did come here, I thought, what if you get one angry bull that's just decided, no. Could fling a zebra up in the air with no trouble at all. The buffalo are getting quite noisy. At least the bits of the herd that are now moving towards us, not those that have already settled at the end there. I keep it simple. You say the zebras must like their grass well done. It's more that they don't mind well done grass. But certainly they don't like it blue, like how Marcel likes his steaks. Any animal that is a herbivore will always prefer. Sorry guys, oh no, there we go. Will always prefer having nice green fresh grass. We're just having a little issue with our camera. There we go. Herbivores will always prefer what is fresh and new, and juicy, and that's because it's got the most nutrients. Once something's been dried or burnt, there's substantially less nutrients. But that doesn't mean that they won't eat it. It just means it's not their first pick. Isn't this great to have the zebras and the buffalo moving behind them? You can hear them bellowing. Birds will be having a great time here as well. Not just the usual suspects of the oxpeckers along the backs of the buffalo, but also starlings, drongos, even hornbills, lilac-breasted rollers. They'll be perched all around here, moving, darting to the ground and up, to the ground and up, back to the trees, as they take advantage of everything that these animals have kicked up as they've moved through the vegetation. A lot of you are saying it's quite nice to see the buffalo alive. It is. It's not often that we get to see one dead. I'd say we certainly see them alive more than we see them dead, but once you have seen them dead for a few days, like we did yesterday and today with Andrew, you certainly do appreciate the energy that a live one does bring to a sighting. This is a massive, massive herd of buffalo and a very petite herd of zebra. Hi Heather, you'd like to know if zebras have a mating season? Not really. Can we just look out to the left there where they've just kicked up all this dust? I wonder if more will come running through. Yep, here comes another. They don't really have a mating season. Really, it's only the Impala that we get here out of the antelope that have a particular season. And they also have quite a short gestation period. Zebra have a gestation period of about a year. It's about 360 days. Sometimes up to about 370, 390 days. So it's about a year. And so what antelope try to do is to give birth at a time when there's enough resources to support everybody. And they'll usually just have one foal. I'm going to sit with these guys because it's nice to be surrounded by so many herbivores. And then once we spend some time here, we'll move on and try to find some elephants. Still lots of movement, but everyone's kind of moving away from us now. You can see the zebra. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The zebra are quite curious of of the movement of the buffalo, which is nice to see. They're just kind of being very respectful. Not intruding on the buffalo too much. Oh, that's such a lovely shot of the buffalo moving behind this zebra. The sound of the buffalo now moved away. I can see some of them sitting down, actually. So I guess everyone's feeling pretty relaxed. I suppose the stench of one of their relatives has not wafted this way just yet. They look very, very happy and content, despite there's some that are running. There's like youngsters that were running alongside the vehicle in Torchwood. I think they were just trying to catch up with the herd and feeling a bit left out. Or rather a bit like they're going to get left behind. No one wants to get left behind in the herd. The whole purpose of having a herd is that you should always keep yourself or somebody else between yourself and any potential threats. Everyone tries to stay together as best as they can for safety.
So everybody, we're still sitting here, and that female, she found herself comfortable pillow on that dead body, but she get a little bit annoyed by the noises of feeding on the other side where another one is feeding, and then of course every now and then lost balance just like that. But anyway, it's not bad just to have a pillow as your own food. Oops. It just looks like she's really enjoying this, for sure. She's just got to be careful with her ear. Mustn't be cut off by the other one. So they've been taking turns here already. The one is feeding. It's another one, not the one that was feeding since we got here. So West Coast, you're asking where are the vultures at the moment? I haven't even seen a single one flying around. Yeah, I've been looking up in the air. It's probably maybe, it's the winter. Your smell it's actually travel, but it's limited. it was in the summer, if it was a summer, there would be more vulture, because then they had an advantage of hunt, fly over around up in the air, pick up the thermos from there, because it's hot, and then we're able to hunt quite easy, but not this time of year, unless if they spot it, or then they will arrive here, but not for now, for sure. I don't see any. And this carcass has been here also yesterday as well, all day. can see all of them now started to paint harder because it's getting slightly warmer than it was when we get here. But the painting that is taking place, it's more digesting. So, Makin J, you're asking who is the leader of this pride. It's gotta be one of the older female that she's also controlling them here. But they're also dominated by a Voka as well. I'm so surprised that I haven't seen a male here with them. But I cannot tell whether she's the one that had a cubs or among the two that we can see right here. So the leader on Pride is not a leader of a hunting, probably more of something to do with which direction they're gonna go. And then from there, in terms of hunting, everybody play a role. He's sub-adult, they spot something, they can still show interest on that, and the whole pride will look at them, and again they'll respond to whether they're interested to hunt in that. So, comment from Darcy is saying these bellies are impressive, and you're very right. Indeed, look at how they're swollen, and of course they're full. These all sub-adults. They, I think, eaten more than the bigger one. Cats in general, when they're full, they gotta paint because with their lungs now when they're full belly, so all food push so much of these lungs and there's not much space in the end And then, of course, for them to be able to control themselves, they have to do it that way. Painting, that's actually normal for kids. When their lungs expand a little bit, they got to paint. And this very pride we're looking at, these are the pride that actually during the Mapocho, their coalition, they were around pretty much. And one female, she was killed one morning by Mapocho. And then she was trying to defend her cubs from getting killed by Mapocho, but she also killed right on the spot. When I get in here, there were 5 females totally. I've seen number rise. But when Mapocho arrived, and the number dropped, because they have to disappear back into Kruger Park, far out of reach of Mapocho. So Johnny asking, does a leader eat first and leave? Because it's not just eating in there. So when it comes to the feeding methods, they are, all of them feed at the same time when the kill is still fresh. Especially if it's small, then it's got to be a lot of competition because everybody want to get enough. But with this buffalo here, since they're turkey turned, whoever went first, probably they have gone at the same time feeding in that. And then all just going to settle down. So one by one, now returning to that kill. So that's why we've seen that female using that dead body as a pillar, because she's eaten. It's not that she's concerned of the meat is getting finished by the other one. It's so that she finds herself comfortable using that part of their body as a pillar. So there is no order in terms of feeding. Unless if it's a small prey, a male is here, then of course, because you would want it to have so that's what pretty much happened. The male would be forced to have it by himself because it's so small. But if it's a big buffalo, giraffe, everybody would feed comfortably without any push off, growl or anything. Dr. Rocky Baba. So you're asking, would the lions would need to drink after eating such a meal like this? So a lot of time when the water's far away, they wouldn't mind do that. So they would abandon a lot of moisture from blood in that meat. So if it happens they would need to drink, then this is when they would take turns. 2, 3 they would go, and the other they would guide the meat not to be stolen from the hyena. But they won't return to water 4 times a day, 3 times a day. It happens maybe once. So we're just going to see what the rest going to do.
As the sun goes down in Africa, for many, the day has just begun. Wild Earth is ready for the next brand new concept, and this time it's at night. A specialized thermal drone will take to the air under the cover of darkness. As it flies above the bush, it will be searching for hotspots on the ground.
We might have a leopard on the far right of this group of hyena.
The ground team will then be called to identify the animal.
It is a warthog. That's exactly what it is. So there we go. It was a warthog that was running away from... Sorry, Warty.
And of course, it is at this time when the big cats are on the hunt.
Yeah, James just head a little bit more left.
Okay, copy. I'm going to go north around on Impala Road.
Okay, the lions are on the move, guys. Lions are chasing the wildebeest.
Wild Earth is looking for a sponsor who can help turn this show to a long-running series. If you are interested, then head over to our website to find out more. wildearth.tv/sponsors.
Hi everybody, I'm Tiana. I'm from Johannesburg and I am one of Wild Earth's biggest fans.
Been watching for 4 years. DG here from the Ozarks.
It's been 4 years for me and I'm not leaving anytime soon.
It's given me a time away from the hassles of the city, and it's given me a connection to a place that has stolen my heart, which is Africa.
Last year we lost our son, and now we're just watching Wild Earth. Love to all you guys.
You are reminding us of the role that we play in nature conservation, each and every one of us. You have reconnected myself to a dream that I had as a child to get involved in nature conservation, and for that I'm really grateful for as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My name is Steve, and one of my favorite things at Wild Earth is getting questions from you. The type of questions that I really like are those ones that really help us to unpack and understand and really integrate the ecological knowledge and fully appreciate the importance that animals such as these Cape buffalo bring to the ecosystem. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, you're going to have to register on the website. But once registered, just head on over to the live safari page and enter your question under the live feed.
We have had some elephant luck. I'm so glad. They're just all over the place. On this drainage line quite close to Treehouse Dam. So some in the drainage, some on the other side of the drainage, some on this side of the drainage too. So we're just going to sit tight and see what their movements are. I'm just very glad to see them. Probably didn't hear that because my mic's terrible. I love elephants is what I whispered. There's lots of branch snapping and leaf pulling and all those sorts of sounds going on around me. To the point where I can't actually see too many elephants. But I can hear a whole lot. They seem to be moving in an easterly direction. So what I'm going to do while they're still quite far from us is turn around so that when they do move we can catch up with them easily. I don't like making too many movements when when they're close to us. I feel like it just disturbs them extra. There's no need to be extra with them. Just be nice. I just need to find a nice place to turn. Hillary, you'd like to know if elephants are the only ones who use their ears to cool down? No, all of us do. You and I do it too. To cool down and to warm up. It just regulates our temperature. It's because ears are, or rather the pinnae, the outside of the ears, the parts that we recognize as ears, don't have too much to do with sound. They still do have to do with conducting sound. But they have a lot to do with the fact that they're an extension of our body, so they're outside of our body, and they have thin on it. So blood vessels are close to the outside, the environment. Let us stop about here. We should see them through this gap. So, because of that, we are. Oh, there's one right here. Because of that, we're able to use our ears to cool down. It's just that elephants and warm up, because if you put a beanie on, you cover your ears because you're losing a lot of heat through your ears as blood moves through the ears and all the blood vessels in the ears, and then touches the surface where it's cooler than the outside, then you lose a lot of heat. And by wearing a beanie, you're stifling how much heat loss you'll experience. Now, lots and lots of animals, almost all animals that have ears, you use ears in that way. The pinnae, the outside ear. If you think of hares have big ears like that too, and a very thin skin. The thing with elephants is that they've developed these very large ears, large outside part of ear. And that's because they are very large animals. They produce a lot of heat and can overheat easily because they're producing so much of heat. So in order to counteract that, they've got to adapt. And by doing that, you'll see changes in animals like this, in animals that have too much heat, to allow them to cool down sufficiently. And that's how you have these huge ears with elephants. And remember, they're not always using it to cool down. When they want to stay warm, they'll put their ears flat against their body. So we can't do that with our ears. We'd have to cover it up. But it's certainly not a unique thing. What is unique is the size of the ear. And it's huge. It's almost about 20% of the body surface area. It's just the ears. Imagine 20% of your ears with 20% of your body. That'd be huge.
News report.
Sorry about that, guys. We are still with the elephants though, and thank goodness we're all back. Let me just reply to Rex quickly. Rex, I didn't hear any updates since you've been down. So, yeah, we're still sitting with these lovely elephants. They haven't moved much since you were abruptly taken away from us. I'm very thankful that they haven't. But suddenly gotten very quiet. They might be chatting amongst themselves. It's nice to see them spread out like this, all over the place, taking advantage of whatever they can, really. Remember how we spoke about having this bag of goodies and you eat your favorites first? Hi Debbie, you'd like to know if elephants in cooler regions would have smaller ears? It is possible, but not. It would take thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years for that kind of change to happen, if it happens at all. Because then genes for smaller ears would have to be prominent in the population, and for that to happen it would be have to mutate in the first place. And also you don't get elephants in places where the temperature is very, very low. So if elephants somehow manage to get to icy regions, then we might find that there's an adaptation that allows them to have smaller ears, or rather mutation that comes along for them to have smaller ears, but that's basically all hypothetical because we don't know. I can't say I know what the size of a mammoth's ear was and whether it was 20% of its body surface area as well. Those were found in cooler regions. Mammoths, or rather African elephants, are not very closely related to mammoths, or less closely related to mammoths than Asian elephants, which do have small ears. But like I said, that's all hypothetical because we don't really know. And we can't know because we can't put an elephant in a cold region and figure out what it does over thousands of years. But it definitely could happen. So peaceful. Just love it. Now, there's so many things to love about elephants, but one thing I especially love to watch is just how careful they can be with their trunks. Their dexterity is remarkable. How easily they can maneuver and manipulate objects, pick out very specific parts of a plant that they want to eat. Look at that, how she picks exactly which branch she wants and not any other. Well, we're going to sit with them. Hopefully we'll pop out for us to view.
Planning to check for something else. then we left the Pride, which I think they're going to be doing what they're capable of, feeding in that carcass, and we believe they're going to be around this afternoon. Now stopping here just to listen to the bush, any of the noises out there. Just all actually peaceful morning. It's gonna be like just yesterday, where during the day when it's kind of like the temperature rise up and all you're aiming to look for animals around the watering hole. This is afternoon. But it's still a beautiful morning anyway, so there's no, if those couldn't manage to go down to drink, they can, but those who want, and then they still had a lot of energy to move around without having it to drink.
Those are the elephants that are on the other side of the drainage, still needing to make their way all the way towards the road here. They seem to be moving east. In fact, towards that spot that I said that I find elephants often moving through. But this time they're coming back to that spot. Usually I see them from that spot moving away in this direction. They haven't even looked at us. They haven't even batted an eyelid, not at all. Even this youngster, there's a youngster like close-ish to me. Hasn't even looked and said to look at me. Everyone is so relaxed. They make me relax. I think I could watch them all day. Kind of like a fire. You can sit and watch a fire out here in the bush the whole night. Hi, Wakeisha. You'd like to know why would a herd of elephants reject a member of its own herd? It's unlikely to do that. Remember, a herd is females and their offspring. So it's unlikely that females will reject their own offspring. The only time it will happen is when a female is going to push out her male offspring because they've come of age. But otherwise they would not reject a member of their own herd. There could be other complex social goings-ons that we obviously don't know anything about. that would have to do with their relationships and bonds and things like that. But it's not. There's a reason that the social structure works. Because mothers and youngsters need each other to survive, and everyone cares about the survival of their kin. And their kin is not just their youngsters, but also their sisters, their mothers, their children. That's all their kin. So there's a reason that the social structure works. Now, for an animal to get pushed out for no reason seems very, very unlikely. Sometimes something may look like an animal is being pushed out, but in fact the female has decided to leave the herd. Or has decided that she can't keep up with the herd with her youngsters or something like that. Or she's got a youngster with an injury, or she's got an injury. And it can look like someone's being kicked out, but that's not something that happens usually with elephants. Or with Sorry guys, you lost me briefly, but I'm back now. And yes, as I was saying, it's not a useful thing to kick a member out of the herd if it's a breeding herd. It's quite a human thing to want to belong and feel like you're not going to belong, and you have this fear that you're going to get kicked out, and you do have individuals that get kicked out. But it's not something you see often in the animal kingdom, unless it's males that need to get kicked out because they need to disperse and they've come of age. You could also watch these guys all day. Absolutely. I have two fantastic things going on now. I have a spider on my dash that's keeping me entertained, and some elephants keeping me entertained. So, I mean, I couldn't ask for much more, could I? I feel like I'm watching a tennis match. I'm watching the elephants, then head swings across to watch the spider, two spiders that are lifting up their abdomens here on my dashboard. It's fine, I'll watch the spiders go. Those guys who watch the elephants. One looks like a kind of creeping spider. Very long and spiny and creamy. Yeah, hi Cindy. You think that his face is very cute with those little tusks? They really are very cute. Cutest faces are the ones that don't even have any tusks yet. Even when you see tuskless females, they still look so baby-like, baby-faced. There's two spiders on my dash, and one looks like a spiderling. Brown button spider, interestingly. Just want to see if my spider book has a picture of a button spiderling, which I doubt. Either way, I'm gonna check it out. See what it is, but also of course focusing on my elephants.
The annual Safari Guide of the Year competition aims to create awareness for those men and women who dedicate their lives to tourism and wildlife. This year's event will be held at Marataba, a breathtaking privately managed section of the Marakele National Park in South Africa's Limpopo province. In celebration of this, Wild Earth and Marataba Luxury Lodges are offering all explorers a chance to win a 3-night stay at Marataba Safari Lodge for you and a friend. In addition to a spectacular land-based safari, Marataba Luxury Lodges offer an opportunity for guests to cruise peacefully along the Matlabas River, watching the animals as they drink and wallow. The lodge offers you a chance to lie by the pool or enjoy a spa treatment, and one night could be spent sleeping out under the stars in a luxurious treehouse. Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer before the 30th of June, and it could be you heading off on a long-awaited getaway. Wild Earth Explorers, it's in your nature. As one of the industry's best and Fagasa Indoors training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a Fagasa accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Fisher and I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. I'm looking really forward to taking you through and showing you all the beautiful places here at and beyond Ngala. If you have any questions, please register on our website. Once registered, go to the live page feed and post your questions underneath the live feed. Join me on my next safari through and beyond Ngala on Wild Earth. Send me live questions through the Wild Earth website and I'll answer them live from the African bush.
So everybody, I'm on a bumble and then just gonna check a few waterhole around here. The lines are going to be around, I think, this afternoon. There. Just going to check a few water holes. We're close to one of the watering holes here, where we'll check what is around. Doesn't look like there's anything at the moment. So these type of elephants and all the antelopes, because there's quite a few of watering all around here. So you found maybe they on the other side or they still haven't decided to come to drink, but it's the best time of the day for them to drink. It's just so quiet in this watering hole. Not even a bird, a water bird around that I can see. A lot of fishes in this watering hole like that. Those are hunted by African fish eagle. Gonna take a look, what is that there on that log? Oh, terrapin. Everybody, you're right. Just gonna take a moment of a silence. Also looking at this very beautiful terrapin there basking in a log. Just so peaceful, quiet. And these terrapin, they are carnivore, everybody, so they eat anything that died. If anything dies in the water, they would feed on it. Meat, ticks. So they groom animals that come lying down in the water, such as the buffaloes. These are hippos. Clean their wounds. You can even actually get more infected in a wound as well. So you get a wound get bigger because they pick on an open wound. So, Jackson, you're asking how long can a terrapin stay underwater for? Sometimes it can stay up to about anything 15 submerged and 15 upwards minutes. And some can hold their breath for that long. We have to search for these dirty stuff under the bottom of the water. The only creature that can hold that breath for so long, croc can hold that much when they want to. Above 30 minutes with the croc upwards. So basking in the sun, it's all warm. So everybody's saying you can't believe how stationary and staying still it is. It's really cool. It's probably warm. You find them in a rock perch, as long as there's a little island, they can bask. And And they're not actually vulnerable to eagles and anything like that. Only when they're outside of the water, leopard can feed in that thing. I'm also hearing the squirrels calling in the background. Maybe just because of the probably eagle flying above that we cannot see. Just so quiet, nothing else happening. And when it comes like this is when now all animals are just doing their things out there, and then all they gonna plan to return to the water, maybe later. So everybody, we're coming in the end of the shore of this morning. And then it's been really privileged to have you all on board this morning. But hopefully we see you this afternoon again. From now, goodbye from us.